Greetings, it's Captain and
Brr 32. Brr.
and today we're gonna bring you one of our favorite Rise of the Shadow decks, the Mega-Windfury Murloc Shaman. Now, just so you know, this deck it utilizes the card Scargill, which makes your Murloc cost 1, and it also takes advantage of that Whirlwind Tempest minion, which gives Mega-Windfury to your Windfury minions. So we're going to mulligan out the Whirlwind Tempest and the Alakir card for now, since in the early game we want to really fill the board with Murlocs. That's the number one win condition, and Mega-Windfury is kind of an afterthought.
Yeah. There are a little bit of competing ideas because Murloc decks tend to go very wide. To use cards like Bloodlust to just rush down your opponent with a lot of small minions. Whereas typically a lot of the Mega-Windfury decks are trying to use some kind of one-turn kill combo where you have one big minion that you buff with the Windfury and the Mega-Windfury to suddenly deal a surprise amount of damage.
And also, as you can see, one of our Murlocs has a battle cry which introduces the Goblin Lackey, which is another fun Rise of the Shadow addition. In addition to lackeys, the deck also makes use of Hagatha's scheme, which is a good board clear. So this deck showcases a lot of the nice parts of the Rise of the Shadows expansions. Both the lackey kind of minion type is used, the scheme type, and of course the great new addition Scargill and the Whirlwind Tempest can be seen, but might not show up in this game if we kill our enemy fast enough, right?
Yeah, I mean, it looks like right now, oh, and that's helpful, that you can just Zerg rush them, beat them up quick. He's already taking a little too much damage. It's pretty clear we're playing a Thief Rogue, which is an old archetype, but one that's got some new support in this expansion. It's a good draw by him to be able to get that lifesteal weapon. That can potentially keep him alive, but just depends on how much pressure we can add, and this is going to be helpful, especially to buff the health and then get the sustainability of the board with the death rattles.
Yeah, so I don't see him staying alive for much longer, so you really should try out the deck for yourself. It's a good combo deck because you have two win conditions, really. The sheer force of all the Murlocs on the board, and then if you can get the Windfury spell and the Mega-Windfury battle cry from Whirlwind Tempest, that's another way to get a second way to win. But here you can see that the Murlocs by themselves can do a good job of killing the enemy fast.
Yeah, and you also see the strength of the lackeys to be able to add powerful abilities on a battle cry right there, adding rush to a minion we had just played. But yeah, Murloc Shaman is just evil.
Or great.
Yeah, no, when they were talking about Rise of Shadows, they were talking about this deck. We haven't even gotten to the good new Murloc cards. Scargill and what's that other one that creates more Murlocs?
Oh yeah, that's really good. Yeah, I rack my brain. Hold on.
That's alright, but those are the two new cards. This is just old Murloc Shaman beating people up.
Well,